Hi guys, this video is on why making 50 calls is the magic number. It also centers around some other KPIs that you do need to understand when making these prospecting calls. It'll show you why it's relevant to make 50 and what it means in your pocket. So we make 50 calls. We don't make less, obviously, because you're going to get less of a result from it. We don't make more because you probably end up getting burnt out from making too many calls in a day. So 50 is a good round number to aim for in a prospecting day. With those 50, let's say 10% of them are actually listened to by somebody live, or they're listening to your voicemail. So 5 calls actually get heard by somebody. Of those 5, one person returns your call. They're interested in what you have to say, the value that you're trying to show. And of those, let's say 2 to 3 more come from follow-ups from previous touches that you've done. So other calls that you've made in other days, those people are calling you back as well. So that means you can have, say, 4 potential conversations in a prospecting day. So 4 people that might be able to use whatever product or service you're trying to sell. Of those 4, 1 equals a deal that is piped. Not necessarily closed, but it's a pipe deal. It's something that you can work on. It's like a fishing hook. Now, with our ground and pound, that leaves you 2 prospecting or real prospecting days in a week. So that's 104 pipe deals for the year. Basically 2 deals a week times 52. And if you close, say, 25% of those, that's 26 deals closed. Now, depending on your average deal size, that could be good or it could be bad. But let's take a look at what the numbers mean. Let me blow this up a little bit here for you. So you get your 50 calls a day. And that calls listened to is 5, calls returned is 1. Plus your 2 to 3, let's go for 3 follow-up returns from previous days calling or previous touches. So that's 4 conversations equals 1 pipe deal, 2 deals a week, 104. Closing ratio, let's say this one here is 10%. If your average deal size is 30K, that's 312 grand total revenue per year. And if you're a commission salesperson, you don't work on your own, let's say you got a 10% commission rate because you got a good, you negotiate a good rate there. And this is of the revenue. So if you're in software sales, a lot of times it's of the revenue. So that's 31 grand in commission per year, plus whatever salary that you have if you have it. Now, you can really tweak these up. So if you've done a good job at your discoveries and you are able to actually fatten up the deal, you can get more out of it. Let's bring that up to 40 grand. So you've already got yourself 10 grand in extra commission there. Your closing ratio, let's bring it up to, say, 15% instead of a 10%. Look, now just from these 2 things, you've doubled your rate here. All right, so let's move this one up to 35. So your better job at conveying your value, or a better job at identifying your customers, will mean that more better conversations and more deals will follow through from it. So let's go from 25 to 35% of the time. So let's just say that you've improved on your pitch. So your calls returned go from 20 to 30. So you've through calls that you make, you're going to get a better return because you get better at it. And so that one from 20 to 30. And let's say this one goes up from 3 to 4 calls returned. And you can see here, just from these little tweaks, from improving your pitch to improving the kind of questions that you ask to better identifying your customers, slowing down your deal and really fattening it up, and improving on your closing ratio by better understanding your clients and better qualifying your deals that are piped in the first place. You do that, and right here, you almost quadrupled your commission. It's really awesome to figure that out, that you have such a control over the amount of money that you make just by something as simple as making 50 calls and making 50 good calls. So let's improve this closing ratio a bit more. So let's say that you've really improved it and you're going to do a 25% close rate. So you've improved the prospecting calls that you make, therefore you will improve on the discovery calls that you make because you're talking to people that are more apt to buy, right? They have a higher chance of buying what you have to sell. You work on your discovery questions so that you can identify deals better, faster, easier, and of more quality. So if you sell to people that are more prone to buy from you and you figure out a better way of discovering and finding deals or problems that they may have, it means that you can have a higher closing ratio because garbage in, garbage out, quality in, quality out. So let's say 25% of the deals that we find we end up closing, and that's actually not that bad at all. So now you've all of a sudden made multi-six figures here. You're at 200 grand plus whatever salary that you got. If your commission rate is higher, then obviously this is higher. If your commission rate's lower, then obviously this is lower. But this is just to show you what is possible and what things you can work on to tweak this end commission outcome here. This calculator is going to be available. You can just download it as one of the resources for this lecture. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or send me a message, and I'll do my best to get back to you guys. Thanks for watching.